What's up, guys? Welcome to Cass Cooking. I'm Matt Cass. Today on the offset smoker we're going to be doing spare ribs. If you've never done them before, this should be a fairly simple recipe to follow. I'm going to go step by step with you on it. I'm not doing it competition style, so all I'm going to do really is pull the membrane off, trim some fat off a little bit, then we're going to cook them on the smoker. Try the 3-2-1 method, see how that goes, give or take. So yeah, let's get them trimmed up and get our smoker going. Alright, the first thing I usually do is remove this membrane. There's a skirt here on there that you can remove that I'm actually going to remove after I pull the membrane. So what I do is grab a butter knife, find the 1, 2, 3 bones. Usually you can go in the second or third one. I'm going to go in the third one here. Get the knife under there. Just kind of lift, separate it from the rib bones. So you can get your thumb in there and kind of pull up. Grab a paper towel. Grab it with a paper towel. Just peel it away. Should peel right off just like that. That's what we're looking for. Next thing we're going to do is remove this skirt. Next thing we're going to do is remove this little strip of meat here on the back side. It's like a skirt. You can leave it on there. It is good meat. I prefer to take it off to keep them flatter. So I'm just going to score that away. Alright. Like I said, you can actually put this stuff aside. Throw it in your pot of beans or something. It's good eating. It's good meat. I'll try to get that a little better. Alright, that's looking good. That's kind of where I want it. So like I said before, if these were competition style St. Louis ribs, I would probably cut off these 2 bones on the right side and this little, you know, the small bone down here. This you just want to make them as square and as uniform as possible. So I would cut this off and I'd cut this off and use it for, you know, chop it up, grill it up, put it in the beans, whatever you want to do. But we're not doing competition style ribs today. These are backyard ribs, so we're going to be rubbing them with mustard as a binder, and then putting our rub. There's millions of rub recipes online. You can go online and find one that you like. Today I'm using Cosmo's Q Dirty Bird, and I'm going to be using also his rib glaze, cherry apple habanero rib glaze later on, along with some brown sugar and some other stuff. So like I said, backyard style, this is fine. You can trim up any of this extra fat if you want to. I'm going to leave it on there. We'll go to the front. I'll probably take that off. Just this harder fat that's not going to render. That one actually looks pretty good. Maybe take this off. But yeah, that's it. We're going to clean these up, wash them off with cold water, and then we're going to apply our mustard binder and our rub. Alright, so the next thing you want to do is pat these dry with a paper towel. Get any excess moisture off of there. You don't have to get them bone dry. You see I put a paper towel down right here for the front. I'm just going to pat those dry. Put them back on the cooking sheet here. Excess moisture removed. Now we're going to hit them with our mustard and our Cosmo's Q Dry Rub Dirty Bird. Alright, so we're going to apply our mustard binder and our rub. Just regular yellow mustard. I got, you know, clean hand, dirty hand. Thin layer. Since I'm cooking these bones down, so I'm going to rub this side first, flip them over, and then do the meat side That way I don't have to flip them over again to put them on the smoker. Just rub your mustard in. Try to get the sides. Just a thin layer. I kind of overdid it. You don't have to put this much on it. You're just really getting the rub to stick to the meat a little better. You're not going to taste the mustard. You will not even know it's there. And it also gives you a yellow color there, so if you hit it with the rub and you can still see yellow, you know you missed a spot, you can go back and hit what you missed. So I like using mustard as a binder. Other people use Worcestershire sauce. I've seen people use mayonnaise. That's kind of weird, but whatever floats your boat. Yeah, so I'm using yellow mustard today. Get our Cosmos Dirty Bird on there. Stuff smells really good already. Really good. I can tell this is going to be delicious. Don't be shy with this stuff either. I press it in, I don't rub it in. I know it's called a rub, but I'm pressing it in. Make sure you hit the sides. The tops here. Backside's done, we're doing the front side. All I'm using is this rub. I'm not putting any brown sugar on it right away or anything. That's for later when we wrap it. Alright, then we're gonna hit it again with our Cosmos Q Dirty Bird. Again, make sure you get your sides. Don't be shy with this stuff. Liberal application. Just loads of flavor on there. Top of this one was stealing from that one. Go back, hit the spots that you may have missed. Alright, these are rubbed. So now that we got these rubbed, I'm gonna let them sit for half an hour, 45 minutes, let them sweat. That's when you'll start seeing like the seasoning soak into the meat. It sweats. You know, it kind of looks like they're wet. That's when you know that the rub's adhered to the meat. While these are sweating, we're going to get the smoker started with some lump hardwood charcoal. And I got some hickory sticks and some apple chunks that we're going to use today. Alright, to light this, we're not doing anything fancy here. I've got the Weber chimney full of Kingsford charcoal briquettes. They're the hardwood type. Little piece of lighter twine. Just gonna light that. Put our chimney over it and let that catch. Once this is caught and the coals are glowing hot, a little ashy, we're gonna dump them in our firebox. We're gonna get this thing up to 10. It snowed yesterday, so my smoker's covered in snow, but once this heats up, it'll all melt off and fall off. So we'll be back when this thing's going. Alright, so I got the charcoals in there. I just wanted to show you guys something. I've got a probe set in there on the left side to monitor the temperature. That's kind of the cool side, so as long as that's around 220, 225, I know I'm in the right spot. I got a water pan down there to keep stuff moist while it cooks, closest to the firebox. It will evaporate and I'll fill it up as it evaporates and dries out, but that'll really help keep the ribs moist while you're cooking. So yeah, that's coming up to temp. Stacks all the way open. Vent on the side is all the way open until that gets up to temp. Then we'll play with the vent and the stack cover to regulate our temperature. We want to do at least 225 to 250. As long as I maintain somewhere in that range, I think I'll be okay. Again, we're going to do the 3-2-1 method. So 3 hours naked, 2 hours wrapped, 1 hour naked again, and that's when you apply your barbecue sauce and let the sauce adhere. So we'll be back when this thing's up to temp. Alright, sorry for the background noise. I live right behind a major highway, road, whatever, so there's a lot of car traffic, but smoker is getting up to temp. I got a hickory stick, nice little log in there. It's catching right now, and then I got some apple chunks that I put in there also. We're going to get these ribs on, close it up, and I'm not going to check on them for at least an hour. Make sure the temperature stays between 225, 250, should be okay, and we'll check back on them on an hour. So I'm going to get these on, and we'll be back when I'm checking on them. Alright, I just wanted to show you guys this. I've got a spray bottle here with 1 part apple cider vinegar, 1 part apple juice, and 1 part water. And every half an hour to 45 minutes you want to go in here and give it a spritz in just to keep things hydrated. Already got some good color going in here. We're looking really good. We're about 45 minutes into this cook right now. Water pan's doing its job. Temperature was about 260, 265 when I came out here to check on it. We're a little high. That's okay. We're really just looking for a good color and to let the rubs kind of cook into it before we wrap it, and that's when we cook for our tenderness. Alright YouTubers, just want to show you what's going on here. We're about approaching the 3-hour mark. Really liking the color I'm getting right now. Every half an hour to 45 minutes I've been spritzing them, again with my 3 parts, equal parts, water, apple juice, apple cider vinegar. Starting to get that nice char on the sides there, which tells me that the fat's rendering on the bottom side, hanging off the bones. So I might let this go another 15 minutes, and then I'm going to wrap them. And I will walk you through what I do when I wrap ribs, and we'll put them back on here for another 2 hours. Alright, we got the good color that we want. We got a nice bark, nice little char to it, the way I like it. You can take them off sooner, you can take them off later, completely up to your preference. What I'm going to do now is lay down some brown sugar and some honey, possibly some of that rib glaze, and we're going to put them meat side down. So here's some brown sugar. We're just going to shake that out. Make a nice little bed for our ribs to go on. Just do a nice little rectangle about the size and length of the ribs you're cooking. Alright, we're going to get some honey down here. Just a nice thin strand coating. Don't need a whole lot. That's the way I do it. Again, preference. Put more, put less, it's up to you. I'm wearing latex gloves with cotton gloves underneath because these ribs are still hot. You can go spend the money on some butcher cotton liners for your gloves, or you can go to Walmart and pick these up for like $2 a pair. That's what I did. Alright, here's our ribs. Again, we're going to put these meat side down. Right on there. We're going to do the same thing to the other side. Let me change these gloves real quick. We'll get the other side coated. Alright, so for the top we're going to do the same thing. Brown sugar. Don't need as much on this side that you do on the bottom side. You just want it to coat it. Thin little layer. Try to cover, you know, all surfaces. Like I was talking about the fat rendering off these bones, these little black pieces. In a competition, you would definitely want to remove these. I'm just going to do it just to get rid of it because it's just charred fat that is rendered. And that's what you're looking for also before you pull them off. If you don't really have that, let them go a little longer. That's just my personal opinion. Again, you can do whatever you want. Again with the honey. Don't need much. There you have it. Then you want to wrap it. Try to get it as tight as possible. Put this side in like this, and then up again. Want to make a good seal. You don't really want anything leaking out of there. So there you have it. They will go back on the smoker this way, meat side down. That's the way we're going to put them back on. And we're going to let them cook until they're, you know, tender. I check with a quick thermometer. You can check with toothpicks. I'll probably do that also. But you just want to check in between the bones after about 2 hours to make sure they're nice and tender. You can take an internal temp also. You're looking for 200, 203. That's when you unwrap them, put your sauces on, put them back on the smoker and let them set until they're done. Alright, so now we have them both wrapped and ready to get back on the smoker. I'm not going to add any more wood because we're not looking for smoke. Smoke's not going to get in here. So we're just going to use charcoal to finish this cook. Once I put these back on uncovered, I may add a piece of wood, but you can just finish them off with just heat. You're not looking for that smoke flavor at this point. Alright, let's see how these are doing. Like I said, we wrapped them, we got them back on here. And like I also said, we're not using any wood really. Just briquettes. Lump charcoal, the Kingsford, briquettes, whatever you want to use. Just keep the heat up. You know, keep it at 250, 275. That's what I like to keep the temp at when they're wrapped. Just so that they cook a little faster. So yeah, this is about an hour in wrapped. Look at that, 261. That's our smoker temp right now. I know I just opened it, so it was probably around 275, 280. But that's where we're at. Another hour to go and I'm going to check for tenderness. Alright, so we're about an hour into the wrapped portion of this cook. And I just want to probe them just to see how tender they actually are. That one feels just about done. So when you can stick the probe through the foil into the ribs, you want it to feel like it's sliding in and out of a stick of butter. Nice and smooth. No pull, no tug on the return. When you pick it up, you don't want it to pull back. You want it to just slide in and out real nice. And that's kind of where we're at on this backside one here. Let's see if I can find a good spot. They're not quite where I want them yet, so we're going to let them go. Like I said, this is the 3-2-1 method. They've only been on here an hour wrapped, so I maybe say not even another hour, maybe half hour, 45 minutes. We'll find out. We'll check back here in a half an hour and see where they're at. And once they're tender enough, we'll pull them off and we'll glaze them up. All this extra stuff we trimmed off of the ribs, I put in the oven at 250 degrees. All I added was black pepper and pink Himalayan salt. And I, coated both sides of these chunks of meat here, put them in the oven for 250 degrees. until they were cooked fully. What I'm going to do now is add them to this pot with our can of Bush's baked beans and just let them simmer in there get all the flavors from the meat. Meat's going to get the flavors from the beans. It's going to be really good. That's what you can do with that extra meat, that skirt meat that we trimmed off earlier. Here's the can we're using. Bush's baked beans seasoned with bacon and brown sugar. That's in the pot already. What I'm going to do with this meat here, and you can do this afterwards or you can do it beforehand. I prefer to do it beforehand just to, you know, get all those flavors incorporated. I'm going to chop this up into little bits. That way it'll cook with the beans. They're going to be on a very low heat. I got another hour to go for the ribs. So I'm going to start this now and just let it simmer on low for the remainder of that time, for an hour. Make sure all those flavors get real nice and incorporated with each other. Just tell we got some hard fat here that just won't cut very easily. Maybe my knife's not sharp enough. Who knows? I think it's just a really, yeah, it's like a tendon or something in there that's fighting with me. That's why it helps to trim the fat off these things before you cook them too. Alright, we're going to get this into the pot, put it on a low heat simmer for another hour. When our ribs are done, these should be done. Very flavorful. Add that to as a side. It's going to be real good. Just want to say that I added some more black pepper, pink Himalayan salt, and about an eighth of a stick of butter in there. Just because I felt like it. You don't have to. The seasoned pork in the beans is plenty. You know, the beans are pre-seasoned already, so that's what I did. That's what I like. You do what you want. Alright, it's kind of getting dark out here. It's kind of hard to see me or what's going on, but these have been wrapped and on the smoker for approximately 2 hours now. And I'm going to take my thermo probe here and check for tenderness again. These actually feel pretty tender. Sliding in and out like butter. Definitely this back one is definitely done. Yep. So we're going to take these off, take them inside, glaze them up, put them back on naked for maybe, I want to say, it's supposed to be an hour, but I think these will only take a half an hour until they're done. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to bring you inside and show you how I glaze them. Alright, so I got them out of the foil and I'm ready to glaze them with our, you know, you can use barbecue sauce today. I'm using a rib glaze, again, Cosmos Q. Cherry apple habanero, again, not a sponsored video. I'm just really excited about this stuff. They're so tender, as you can see, that this bone just kind of fell out as I was taking them out of the foil. So I think what I'm going to do is just let them rest for like 10-15 minutes and then glaze them and cut them. And we're going to taste them and just find out how they turned out. Alright, here we go. Moment of truth. You can see the bones better from the bottom side. So I glazed it, flipped it over, glazed the bottom side. Now I'm going to slice into them. The bones kind of go on an angle, so I'm kind of going to cut this the best I can on an angle here without hitting another bone. There we go. That's our end result. A nice little smoke ring here. Really juicy, really tender. That's exactly what I'm looking for. All you gotta do now is just cut it up and serve it. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, hit subscribe, give me a like. More videos to come soon. Thanks for sticking around.